Take a pause and look at the objects right in front of you. The shirt on your back, the glass on your screen, the plastic button on your sleeve. Each item traces its origin to raw nature, but a piece of the natural environment doesn't automatically get classified as a resource. To earn that title, it has to meet 3 conditions. We have to possess the technology to physically access it, it has to make economic sense to extract it, and taking it must be culturally acceptable. Once extracted, we generally channel these resources into 3 categories: things that keep us alive, like water and soil, physical materials we build with, like timber and iron, and the energy sources that power modern life, like coal, wind, and sunlight. Because these resources are the foundation of human survival and industry, logic suggests that the regions sitting on top of the largest deposits of natural wealth should be the most prosperous and developed places on the planet. Yet, economic data frequently shows the opposite. Regions overflowing with natural wealth often experience stunted growth, deep poverty, and bitter conflicts. This is the natural resource curse, the paradox where having plenty of a resource leads to having less of everything else. Understanding why this happens starts with the soil itself. Natural resources are not sprinkled evenly across the globe. Access to wealth is largely dictated by a geographical lottery. This map of India's mineral distribution shows the reality of that lottery. You can see how dense deposits of coal, iron ore, and bauxite are concentrated in specific pockets, leaving the vast majority of the map empty. This intense concentration acts like a magnet. Human settlements, heavy machinery, and massive industrial townships crowd around these extraction sites to capture the value, triggering sudden, localized economic booms. But nature does not recognize political borders. When a valuable resource stretches across multiple states or nations, this tension is visible in the disputes over the Kaveri River. Because its waters flow through 4 different states, sharing this single resource requires constant negotiation. When those agreements falter, it sparks deep regional friction. Controlling these contested waters requires massive, multi-million-dollar infrastructure, like the Mettor Dam. This is the first stage of the curse. When geographic scarcity turns a resource into a prize to be hoarded, the focus shifts from managing a shared system to winning a high-stakes competition. To see the physical damage of the curse, we have to look at this split screen. On the left is nature's operating system, a closed regenerative loop, where a fallen tree decomposes to feed the soil. On the right is the human economic model, a straight line from extraction directly to a pile of waste. Applying that linear model to non-renewable resources, materials that take millions of years to form, creates an immediate deficit. India mines massive quantities of coal to power its development, but our domestic reserves are estimated to last only another 50 years. The demand for energy continues to climb, while the physical supply remains finite. This linear mindset is so aggressive that it can even collapse resources that are supposed to renew themselves. If we pump groundwater or harvest timber faster than the natural cycles can replenish them, a renewable resource becomes a dead one. Look at the commercial tuna industry. By extracting these fish faster than their spawning cycles can replace them, we are pushing a renewable population toward collapse. Nature also provides ecosystem services, free benefits we rely on to survive, like forests filtering our drinking water or plants producing our oxygen. But industrial waste is often dumped directly back into these systems. This discharge poisons the rivers, breaking the cycle of regeneration and destroying the ecosystem services we rely on. Extracting immediate value while leaving behind a poisoned, linear system creates an economy that eventually consumes its own foundation. Having a mountain of iron or a reservoir of oil guarantees nothing on its own. Raw materials are essentially useless without human knowledge, good governance, and strategic planning. Escaping the resource curse requires a change in worldview. We must stop viewing the natural world as a warehouse to be emptied and start treating it as a nurturer to be respected. Many traditional cultures model this balance. Practices like the Tulasi Puja treat elements of nature as sacred, embedding respect and limits into daily life. Modern economists call this a regenerative economy. It aims to mimic nature's circular logic by repurposing used materials and minimizing waste so resources can stay in use indefinitely. For our renewable resources, the mandate is simple.
We must manage consumption to give forests and oceans the time required to heal and replenish. Growth that preserves its own foundation is the only kind that lasts. Modern progress depends on ensuring we do not exhaust the natural systems that power it. A nation's true wealth is not measured by the volume of resources it can extract today, but by its capacity for wise, long-term stewardship for tomorrow.